Hey guys, today I want to talk about the election. We are all, not all, but a lot of us are a little scorned, and I'm here to offer some self-healing and tell you that it's actually not about Trump. Here we go.
This is your life, no one else has gotta live it. This is your fight that only you can win.
Hello everyone and welcome to Freedom Friday, where you learn how to free yourself and live your dreams. I'm Darienne, your certified spiritual rock star, and today I'm talking about the aftermath of the election. So I am a day late, and if you follow me on Facebook, that is because it's been really difficult for me to shoot this video, if I'm being completely honest. So after the election was conceded, I feel like since then I have been in mourning. I feel, being an empath, I feel as if I can feel the pain of the world. My heart chakra has just been, the first few days I was having intense pain in my chest. I've been having sharp shooting pains in my chest, and it's been difficult for me. And so on Thursday I wanted to shoot this video and I just didn't have it in me, and yesterday I wanted to shoot this video and I just didn't have it in me. And so I even did full face makeup yesterday and I just didn't have it in me. And so today I just asked the angels to, as best they can, allow me to remove my own emotions and my ego out of the way so that I can offer healing. And I think it's important, usually I don't make videos if I'm in this kind of state, but I think it's so important to show you guys what kind of strength you can exude and really pull out of yourselves when you are in this stage of grieving. And that may seem really dramatic for a lot of people in this country. Probably not many that are going to be watching this or watching me, who I'm a spiritual coach. So we have this more radical approach, and there's a lot more sensitive people that are following me. But for a great deal of the country, we are in a lot of pain right now. And so I want to help you guys grieve gracefully. And I want to help you see this from a loving perspective and from a way that you can heal from this and see that this whole situation can really be a beautiful thing for you. One of the things that are probably most important, and my tea this morning, let me grab it. My tea this morning was my yogi tea that I drank. And if you're familiar with yogi tea, on the back of these little tags, they have these little phrases that are like these little spiritual tidbits. And today's was, the gate to happiness is self-compassion. And so I want to talk about self-compassion. And I just want to talk. So if you don't want to hear it, you can shut this video off. But if you do, if you need some healing, if you need to I offer this to you. So I offer you to, and suggest that you continue watching. So one of the first things I want to talk about is the fear and the anger and the outrage and the pain that we're experiencing. One of the things that I did was I started journaling about it because I felt personally hurt by this. I was crying my eyes out on 3 o'clock in the morning on Tuesday. And for me, it was up against, either us greatly moving forward in humanity by voting a female in office. That meant so much to me. Or taking what could seem like a complete backwards move, which to me it's not a backwards move. That's not really how I'm perceiving it, but having this man that sort of represented everything we've tried to evolve out of. And it was really, it was one or the other. And so it was either move forward greatly or be completely heartbroken. And so we went in that direction. And what I realized was that Donald Trump, even though this really isn't about him, he represents our fears. He is the physical manifestation of all of the pain that we as minorities, women, any sort of religion that isn't Christian, you know, Muslim especially, because Donald has spoken out against them, being an immigrant, being LGBT, I mean, any type of community that it is not male, white, and rich, really. But so we've experienced a great deal of adversity in our lives. And Donald Trump is the physical manifestation of all of that pain. So what I did was I journaled, and I just talked to Spirit about my pain. I mean, I'm feeling it right now, and that's why this is so, it was so difficult for me to make this video, because I don't like to be in my pain while I'm talking to you guys. It's hard for me not to even cry right now. But there's an awareness that I have right now, and there's an allowing of my emotions. There is a self-compassion going on. So I started to journal. And those of you that know me know that I have a lot of sexual traumas in my life that I have since 5 years old. By multiple men. I have been sexually abused, assaulted in many forms, many different ways. So I started to journal about that. And what I realized for myself personally, and I think that this is for a lot of others as well, what I realized is that Trump being in office and winning this election, for me personally, means that every single man or boy that's ever grabbed me by the pussy and gotten away with it, ripped me of my dignity, had all control over my body and thought he was entitled to it, every man that's ever scorned me in that way wins. And that seems like madness if you're not in those emotions, but I realize that for every gay couple who were told that they weren't allowed to love each other, or were bullied their entire lives, beaten because of who they were, every minority that has experienced police brutality because of the color of their skin, I mean, the pain that we've had to suffer is all coming back. And we're all experiencing this crazy amount of pain. And so what I want to offer you is this being an opportunity to heal. I thought that I had healed a great deal. I knew that I hadn't healed all of the pain from the, you know, that 5-year-old little boy that used to grab me every time I walked past him in kindergarten, or, you know, the classmate of mine that held me down on a park bench and shoved his dick in my mouth, the men that fucked me while I was passed out, the one that tied me up and shoved things inside of me against my will. And I'm being extremely graphic, I understand that, but I think it's important for people to understand that this is what a great deal of the country, this kind of pain and suffering, it's what we're reliving. But I want to offer you this healing opportunity. I realize that I still have a great deal of pain in me. Not necessarily anymore from being touched by those men, but the fact that I never prosecuted against any of them, that none of them had any consequences for doing that, what I perceive doing it to me. I've done a great deal of working on having compassion for them and understanding that them treating me like that really wasn't about me, that I could have been anybody, that it really wasn't about me, and that because I made it about me, it caused me to continue to attract that same situation over and over and over again. And for me, it's about self-control and self-empowerment. It's about feeling as if I had all of my power ripped away from me. And so the only power I have is to heal this within myself, is to make peace with it. And so Donald Trump being voted into office has brought those fucking fears and pain up in me, that I'm reliving this trauma. And even as I'm talking, I feel like I should be tapping, because it's kind of rough right now. And so the good part is that you guys, if you've been watching me for a while, and I know a lot of these beautiful tools like this tapping that I'm doing right now to deal with PTSD and trauma. And right now my amygdala is going crazy. I'm having this fight or flight experience, fight or freeze experience, and my body is reacting to something that is not happening in front of me. And the truth of the matter is that Donald Trump has never ever done anything personally to me, but we have to take responsibility for our own emotions, because right now we are at a time where our government will not validate us. Our own government will not be there to say, I see your pain, I recognize you, I appreciate who you are, and I believe that you deserve the rights that every single American deserves. We don't have that right now. And you never know. You never know what's going to happen. We got to just give the universe the benefit of the doubt here. Have faith in God, that everything is for the greater good. And we can look at this as a moment where all of the pain is just being drudged up for us to clear it, for us to detox. This could be the nation's detox. And the most beautiful thing about this, the most utterly beautiful thing about this, is that now that we can no longer depend on our representative to tell us that we are worthy, we now must depend on ourselves, which is God's plan. God's plan to bring you back to yourself. So if you are whoever you were born to be, whoever you were born as, you can now stand in your truth and say, I don't give a fuck what anyone thinks of who I am or what I am. I will be that unapologetically. And I will love myself for it, because I don't need anybody else to do that for me. I don't need anybody's permission to tell me who I can love, or that I can be a woman, a beautiful woman, and a sexual woman, and not be fucking touched by anybody inappropriately, or that I can pray to whoever the fuck I want to pray to. That when you develop that strong faith in God, you know that you can have that sense of security. But I understand right now that we are all in a stage of grievance. And so I want to offer another thing that I learned when my daughter's father committed suicide. I guess we're like 4 years ago now, 4.5. Oh my God, no, it's way longer than that. It's like 6 years. I don't even know. It's been a long time. But that experience was one of the most beautiful, dark, but loving experiences I've ever had. And I named it Grieving Gracefully. What I realized was that nobody understood suicide. Nobody understood how some people thought, well, I should be over this by now. People were very uncomfortable with how I was grieving or how they should be there for me. I couldn't depend on anybody to allow me to grieve in the way I needed to. And so we have a lot coming up in us, out of us right now. We have a lot of detoxing to do. So what I did at that time, I realized how important it was for me to grieve, because I had a child to raise and I needed to be okay. And so I need you guys to know that you need to be okay too, and that your emotions are so important, that your joy is so important. And so it was almost as if my spirit gave me this space to grieve. It was this protective space. And I held myself in this bubble, and I just allowed myself to cry when I felt like crying. I was so gentle with myself. Like on Thursday this past week, I watched Kung Fu Panda. I watched all of the Kung Fu Pandas because they're sweet and just cute little cartoons. And I ate chicken noodle soup, and I drank hot cocoa because that is my comfort food. I'm not saying that you should go and emotionally eat, but I'm saying that you should be gentle with yourself. I treated myself as if I would treat my daughter. And I'm still doing so. I'm giving myself the space. I am getting off of Facebook. I am not talking to people that don't completely understand me. I am just giving myself that space. I am protecting myself and allowing myself to grieve whichever way I may. A lot of people are saying you should just get over it. A lot of people just have no, I mean, you have to have compassion with the fact that a lot of people have absolutely no clue what we have been through. And be grateful that they've never had to suffer that kind of pain, and just let them be where they are. Don't expect people to understand you. Come to places like this. There are so many beautiful, luckily, the majority of people in the media are liberals, are people that are going to be loving, compassionate human beings. And there are so many people on YouTube like me. If you need to just open my emails and not watch anything else, then do that. If you have friends in your life that are compassionate. Now, that doesn't mean get together and bash Donald Trump, because it's not what it's about. It's about you, honey. It's about you. And this is about me. And I am being gentle with myself. I'm okay with the fact that I had to wait till Saturday to film Freedom Friday. That's okay. I have a lot to do here. I have a lot of healing to do. I'm going to be journaling. I've already taken a salt bath on Thursday night. You know, I'm just really being gentle with myself. And it's important. It's important to know that this is about you, that it's not about anybody else. That the pain that you're, take responsibility for the pain that you're feeling right now. Question, why are you feeling it? Journal a little bit if you need to, and ask yourself, what's going on here? Where is this pain coming from? Because the pain wouldn't exist if it wasn't pain from a past trauma. I mean, if you get to a point where you can heal this, Donald Trump will go about his stupid little ways and say his crazy, outlandish shit, and it won't affect you, because you'll see that it's about him, that his shit is about his own insecurities, his own fears, that he doesn't respect himself enough to respect other people. And you'll realize that that is not even about you, that his need to be the most rich and powerful man in the world, it comes from an underlying lack of self-worth. That's his own shit. Let that be his own shit. And I know you're like, but he's the president of the United States. I get that. I do. But right now, what's important is you. You are the most important thing in your world, in your universe, and you have to take care of yourself. Because when you get to a place of feeling good, good things come to you. Good things happen. Good things manifest. I understand you're outraged. I am all for a revolution, trust me. But the revolution has to be within. You must slay your own dragons. You must face your inner demons and go up against them. Because no matter what you do to try to change the outside, it will not change as long as you are still living in this fear. We look at a lot of people that have voted for Trump, and it's so easy to say you did that out of fear and da 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 da, but now we're reacting out of fear, are we not? We're no different. We're reacting out of fear, just as they acted out of fear. Not saying that everybody that voted for Trump acted out of fear. That's not what I'm saying. But a lot of, we know the fights that are going on Facebook right now. I mean, even I, who have such a beautiful Facebook page and so many beautiful Facebook friends, I'm seeing a lot of crazy madness. And I'm doing my best to get it out of my space, but I think that the easiest thing to do is just stay the fuck off Facebook. I mean, I do my Facebook ACIM live lessons. If you want to join me there, please do so. But don't read the news feed. You don't need to do that. It is way too easy to get in things, and this is about you. So that space that I gave myself when I was grieving, that was my very first true experience of grace. That was grace. And it was beautiful. And so I want you to pray a lot. I want you to, and in fact, I want to sound off with a prayer here and send you guys off to do your self-healing with a prayer, if I may. So if you'd like to just close your eyes with me and get really into, let's get into that space where pain resides right now. Right now, for me, it's my heart. And I want to just say, God, thank you so much for leading us through this. I ask that you hold our hands through this storm as we do major self-healing right now. And I thank you so much for the beautiful, loving bliss that I will experience at the end of this, that I can look back and none of this will hurt me anymore, that I can bring my own freedom to myself through your strength. I thank you so much for being with me. Angels, I ask that you surround me so that I can give myself the grace in my grieving process that I deserve. I ask that you be with me and allow me to accept myself and my own emotions as I go through many in this grieving process. I ask that you remind me that this is about me and my connection with myself and my connection with God. And just stay with me. I thank you so much for what is to come after all of this storm has been brought down to peace. In your name I pray. Amen. And so it is. I love you. Now it's time for you to love you. I know you've been through a great deal of pain. I have too. I stand here representing you as best I can. I love you. We must be here for ourselves. It's time to have self-compassion. I'll see you next week. Hey guys, thank you so much for watching my video. Give it a thumbs up and share it with whoever you think it could help. Don't forget to join the inspiration conversation down below and give me an idea for my next Freedom Friday video. If you want to get these videos every single week and more, make sure you hit that subscribe button. Also, make sure you find me on social media at Darienne Empire on Facebook and Instagram. Thank you so much for your support. I love you all.